Rain tapped gently against the cafe windows like a soft, persistent memory that wouldn't let go in the corner of the small, warm cafe. A young woman sat alone, head down, fingers trembling around a lukewarm mug of coffee. Eyes were red, makeup smudged beneath them. She wasn't just crying, she was silently falling apart. People passed by, glanced at her, then turned away. The world moved on, except for one man. Daniel, a single father in his mid-30s, walked in with his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. He was juggling her pink backpack, his umbrella, and 2 coloring books she insisted on bringing. Tired but present, Daniel scanned for a seat when his daughter tugged at his sleeve. "Daddy." That lady's sad. Daniel followed her gaze. There she was crying alone, clearly trying not to be seen. He hesitated. He wasn't the type to get involved. After losing his wife 3 years ago, he'd learned to stay in his lane, focus on Lily, keep life simple. But something about the woman struck him. Not just sadness, something deeper, like she'd lost more than just her day. He approached. Gently. "Excuse me," he said softly. "I know this might be strange, but would you like some company? Just someone to talk to?" The woman blinked up, startled. I'm sorry. I don't even know you." Daniel smiled warmly. "That's okay. Sometimes it's easier to talk to someone you don't." She stared at him as if weighing the risk. Then, with a small nod, she motioned to the empty seat across from her. Daniel sat down. Lily climbed into the chair next to him and pulled out a coloring pencil, offering the woman a shy smile. The woman introduced herself as Maya. Her voice was brittle, like she hadn't used it in days. She didn't share much at first, just that things had been hard. She had lost her job. Her apartment lease was ending. Her phone buzzed constantly with messages she couldn't afford to answer. She'd pushed away everyone, friends, family, because it was easier to be alone than to feel like a burden. "I came here to clear my head," she said, staring into her coffee. "But I just ended up crying instead." Daniel nodded. "I know that place. I've sat at this same cafe wondering how to keep going when my wife died. I didn't know how to be a dad or a man without her." Maya looked up. That was the moment something shifted. This wasn't pity. This was understanding. Over the next hour, they talked, slowly, cautiously, but real. Daniel shared how he used to drive around the block 4 times before walking into the house, just to delay facing the silence. How Lily's laugh had brought him back piece by piece. Maya smiled. "Just a little. I haven't smiled in days," she whispered. Lily looked up from her drawing and proudly held it out. "I drew you with a crown, 'cause Daddy says all girls are queens, even the sad ones." Maya's eyes filled again, but this time the tears were different. That night, as the cafe closed, no pressure to the door. "No pressure," he said. "But we'll be back here tomorrow at the same time. If you want to join us, ... you're welcome." And for the first time in a long time, Maya didn't feel completely alone. Chapter 2. Pieces of the broken. The next day, Daniel wasn't sure if Maya would show. He brought Lily anyway, bought their usual drinks, and picked the same corner table at 4:16 p.m. Just as Lily was finishing her hot chocolate, Maya walked in. No makeup, no umbrella, no mask, just her. Daniel stood, surprised and relieved. "I figured one more cup of coffee can't hurt," she said quietly. He smiled. "Best cup you'll have all week." Over the next few weeks, their meetings became routine. They talked about everything: fears, regrets, childhood dreams. Maya started applying for jobs again. She confided that she once wanted to write children's books. Daniel encouraged her to start again, even offered to let Lily be her first test reader. "I used to think starting over was for lucky people," Maya said once. "Now I'm starting to think maybe it's just for people who choose to keep trying." One evening, Daniel invited Maya over for dinner. It was casual: spaghetti, paper plates, laughter echoing off apartment walls that once felt too quiet. After dinner, while Lily played in the other room, Daniel and Maya stood side by side at the sink washing dishes. "You saved me that day," Maya said suddenly. Daniel shook his head. "No, you saved yourself. I just happened to be sitting nearby." She looked at him, eyes glassy. "Still, thank you for sitting nearby." Months passed. Maya got a job offer, not big, but stable. She moved into a small apartment, started writing again, even self-published a short story online, and one day, as they sat together in the same cafe where it all began, she turned to Daniel. "Do you believe people meet for a reason?" He nodded. "Slowly, I didn't used to. But now, I think maybe the universe has a strange way of answering quiet prayers." Ending message inspiring the viewer. She thought she was just having the worst day of her life. He thought he was just being kind. But that moment, that single act of reaching out became a lifeline. Sometimes healing begins not with answers, but with someone simply asking, "Need someone to talk to?" So the next time you see someone hurting, don't look away. You just might be the beginning of their second chance. And maybe they'll be yours too.